In this video, we're going to take a look at 5 of my predictions for the 2024 Toronto real estate market. I'll show you where I think prices are heading, what I think is going to happen with interest rates, what I think is going to happen with the rental market, and more. My name is Jason Bondy-Sawyer with the Bondy-Sawyer real estate team here in the city of Toronto. I want to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who's been watching our videos this past year. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you can see what we have in store for the coming year. Now, whether or not you agree or disagree with my predictions in this video, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. And if you want to book an appointment with me to discuss your real estate plans for the coming year, just use that first link down in the description and we'll make it happen. So what am I basing my predictions on? Well, the brokerage that we are a part of does an incredible job of providing us with ongoing education and up-to-date insights into what's happening in the market. Throughout the year, they bring in leaders in the real estate space who share their data and their knowledge with us. So my predictions are based in large part on the knowledge and the data that we've gained from those presentations, along with our day-to-day experiences in the market, talking with clients, talking with other realtors, and just being a part of what's happening on the ground level. Now, before we get started, 2 quick disclaimers. Number 1, these predictions are based on the GTA market as a whole. So if you're planning on making a move this year, you need to understand what's happening in your specific micro market, because chances are what's happening there is going to differ at least a little bit from the overall market. And number 2, while these predictions are based on market data, knowledge, experience, they are still just predictions. No one knows for sure what's going to happen, so these should not be taken as financial advice. But I promise you, when I post another video like this next year with my 2025 predictions, we can take a fun look back at this video and see how many of my predictions I actually got right. Prediction number 1, we're going to see more sales in 2024. We still have a few days left in the year, so obviously we don't have all the numbers yet, but based on the data we do have, it's looking as though we're going to end 2023 with somewhere just under 66,000 residential resale transactions. Now, to put that number into perspective for you, the average annual sales in the GTA for the last 10 years was just over 94,000. And the last time we saw anything under 66,000 was all the way back in the year 2000. So 2023 is going to end up being the lowest sales activity we have seen in over 2 decades. Higher interest rates have kept a lot of buyers out of the market. So as we see confidence return, we're going to see more of those buyers come back into the market, and that is going to boost sales in 2024. Do I think we're going to return to the 10-year average of 94,000? No, I don't. I think we'll probably end up somewhere between the 66,000 we're seeing in 2023 and that average number. So probably somewhere around 80,000 sales. Prediction number 2, we're going to see interest rates start to come down in the first half of 2024. The Bank of Canada's policy interest rate currently sits at 5%. Now, the last time it was at 5% or higher was all the way back in the year 2001. So just like with sales, 2023 was a year marked again by numbers that we haven't seen in over 2 decades. Now, for the last 3 decision meetings, the Bank of Canada has paused and held steady at that 5%. So it's looking as though all the work that they did with interest rate increases over the last 21 months is working its way through the broader economy, and we are starting to see the intended effects. And the general economic view right now is that the Bank of Canada is basically done with interest rate increases, and we will see the first cut somewhere around mid-2024, with some people thinking that it could even come in the second quarter of the year. Now, I personally think that by the time we reach the midpoint of the year, so July 1st, we will have already seen at least 1 rate cut, and that first rate cut will be 0.25%. Now, having said that, the Bank of Canada has suggested that they are ready to raise rates again if they start to see inflation reignite. It doesn't look like that is the case right now, but we'll have to wait and see. Prediction number 3, prices are going to increase in 2024. This prediction is closely tied to prediction number 2, because once we see those interest rates start to come down, we will see more buyers come back into the market, which means more competition between buyers, which means upward pressure on prices. And I don't even think we're going to have to wait for multiple rate cuts to see this happen. I think 1 rate cut and then even just the talk of further rate cuts will be enough to create some movement on prices. Am I saying that we're going to see a huge jump in prices? No, I'm not. I think that within the first few months of the year, we will have hit bottom if we haven't already. And then as we move throughout the year, we'll start to see the prices come up. And I think the majority of those increases are going to happen in the second half of the year as the interest rates continue to come down. If you look at the average annual price growth in the GTA over the last 40 years, that number sits just below 7% per year. I think in 2024, we're going to end up somewhere below that average number. Prediction number 4, rental prices are going to increase in 2024. We have seen record price growth in the rental market over the last couple of years. And a big part of that is due to the higher interest rates, because as the cost of home ownership has gone up, many people who would have otherwise bought have had to pivot and are in the rental market now instead. So that has given us more tenants, which means more competition, which means higher rental prices. We also saw a large influx of tenants in the summer months, as many foreign students were coming here to secure rentals for the school year. As we move through 2024, I think the rental market is still going to be active, but we are not going to see the level of growth that we saw in 2022 and 2023. So instead of double-digit price increases, we'll probably see things fall in line with more normal levels, probably somewhere around 5%. Now, even though rates are going to start coming down in 2024, there is still enough of a gap between the cost of owning and the cost of renting that we are going to see a lot of people in the rental market. Prediction number 5, we are not going to see a significant increase in distressed sales in 2024. As mortgage renewals start to roll over, some homeowners will be forced to sell because they simply cannot afford their higher mortgage payments. So yes, there are going to be more of those listings on the market in 2024, but I actually don't think it's going to be a significant number. Now, it's obviously a significant situation for any seller who's in that position, and I don't mean to downplay that at all. What I mean is the number of listings we're going to see because of this is not going to be significant enough to drastically change the supply issues that we have here in Toronto. Now, Ontario has the lowest level of mortgage arrears in all of Canada. It currently sits at 0.1%. And historically, we have seen that homeowners will try to do what they can to hang on to their homes, whether that be speaking with their lender, trying to extend their amortization, reducing their spending, whatever it might be. And if you take into account some of the things that I mentioned in my other 4 predictions, pent-up demand, lowering interest rates, and add that to the huge amount of population growth that we've seen in the last couple of years and that we're going to see going forward, I just don't see a situation where distressed sales alter the relationship between supply and demand to such a degree that it really has an effect on prices. All right, those are 5 of my predictions for the 2024 Toronto real estate market. If you have any predictions of your own, I'd love to see them down in the comments. Next to me here is another video, and I think you're going to find that one valuable. So just click on the thumbnail and give it a watch. That's it for now, and I will see you next time.